Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We're going to move on. We'll see how long this takes. This may be our last segment. We may have one more. See what we can do with time here. So this segment, it's an article from the Chicago Sun-Times. It is Illinois created a program. The title, Illinois created a program to compensate crime victims. Nearly 50 years later, it is failing. I bet it's been failing pretty much since it was set up. So before we get into this is about reimbursement for things if you were injured that your insurance doesn't. So it could be like clothes if you got blood on them, other possessions. So it's trying to make you whole on top of the insurance and everything. It's not a bad thing. It's definitely something that should be done. I think it may help with funeral costs, so that's great. And I know back when I was in grad school, there was someone affiliated with the department that had, her nephew killed. And the funeral home wouldn't release the body until they paid thousands of dollars. So I know the students, myself among them and a couple others, raised funds among the students to help her out. So it is... I don't know anything. Well, it's a backup. I didn't know anything about this fund. I didn't even know it existed. I've been doing police accountability work and justice accountability work and transparency since 1996, maybe a little before that. Never even knew this existed. Okay, so let's get to some of the article. Using records obtained through the Illinois Freedom of Information Act, the Trace, which is a separate organization that works on news agency that does stuff on guns and gun violence. The Trace analyzed nearly 15,000 claims processed by the state's victims compensation program between 2015 and 2020. Fewer than 4 in 10 applicants got any reimbursement. Yep. Why? Because they make it so hard. It's like you got to be like a lawyer or an expert in filling out these forms to do it. Which brings me to developers get their TIF money without any problem. They never miss that money. But here we are, the state only giving 4 in 10 applicants money. In Chicago, just one application was filed for every 50 violent crimes during the period reviewed. Now, that's not the greatest number. It's not great right in the outset, but you're a victim of a violent crime. It doesn't necessarily mean you're out money. Right? Someone could carjack you, stick a gun in your head, take your car. Insurance covers it. What are you out if you don't go to, I don't know, if you're not shot or something, what are you actually out? All this does is get you, I don't know what, it only gets you reimburses for things you've lost. And if it's a car or something, they will be insurance for that. So I'm not sure if that number really holds up. I think it's startling regardless, but I don't think it really holds up. It's just programs run by the Illinois Attorney General's Office and the Court of Claims. So what I don't understand, supposedly we're going to get to that the paperwork's the issue. So what I don't understand is why don't they have hospitals and the police fill out most of this paperwork? And whatever isn't, hand it to them, help them fill it out. But let's get to back to the article. In Chicago, just one application. Oh, no, we did that already. If you don't spend money. Yeah, so we'll get back to the article. Some survivors of violent crimes like Manning, someone who was pictured there, waiting for the analyst to make a decision can feel like peering into a black hole. They can't go online to look up where their claim stands. And as is done in Indiana, Tennessee, the process is largely done through the mail, unlike some states that communicate with applicants by phone and email. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2021, and the Crime Victims Reimbursement Fund, or whatever this is called, communicates with people strictly by mail. Is that mind-numbingly stupid, or what? State is so backwards sometimes. The article continues. You have to explain how the injury affected you. You have to submit supporting documentation. That really depends on the stability of the applicant's living situation and how informed the client is. Do you have your police report? Do you have an incident report? Do you have a medical report? Can you document the clothes that you lost? Right? They want evidence of all of this. You can't just say, I lost $500 worth of clothes, give me $500. That ain't going to happen. Here's the bottom line. The poor get screwed by just about every program. It seems like screwing the poor is Illinois' jam. They love it. There are some good meaning people in the Illinois General Assembly. God, but these programs are just broken. The article continues. The low rate of approvals isn't surprising for Maria Balada, a director with Resilience. She was on our town hall around sexual assault data. You can go look that up on YouTube and Facebook archives. A support organization for she's a Resilience support organization for sexual assault survivors. Balada said her team tries to set realistic expectations with survivors about the program's limitations. She continues. It's just become such a convoluted system for us to navigate with victims. And she's a professional, very smart person, by the way, very intelligent. Go look at our the show, the town hall, and you'll understand what I'm saying. Typically, it's a bureaucracy that makes it feel like it's inaccessible. The reason people end up not getting any compensation often is because an analyst couldn't substantiate a crime victim's claims. What to substantiate? Have the CPD put it into a state database that the crime happened and who the victim is. They have a victim, this is who it is. After it's a certain level that meets certain criteria, some kind of violence, it goes into the database. The CPD has to put it in. They put their RD number, they put the report number in. What's the problem? Hospital, put a space for the hospital. Hey, yes, here's the report number, here's the number in the database for the crime victimization fund. Have the hospital put in what they need to put in. What's the problem here, ladies and gentlemen? This is 2021. This isn't 1998 when we were working on Windows 95. What are you talking about? This system is designed not to work for people. It's a joke. You could have the police departments do this. The police department could have an entire 5-10 people that did nothing but to put this stuff in the Illinois database and verified it. Talk to victims about what they lost. Whether stuff was stolen from them, whether they lost clothes, they were shot and they bled over it, they got stabbed or bled over, whatever, right? This is fixable with technology. Very easy technology. A database is not hard. Maybe hard for the state of Illinois, but it's not hard for anyone else. I think Amazon and other people, they've kind of figured out the way to make a database. I just don't get this, why this is a problem. But in the end, it's like it always happens. The people with the least amount of money get screwed. And the people with the least amount of money who are in most need of getting this reimbursement, because they're the victims of violent crimes a lot, and they're the ones who most need getting that little bit of what they lost back. Because a rich person, they don't need that so much, right? They have the resources to go on with their lives. At least a lot more than the poor people do. But once again, this system is set up so to screw the poor. They always screw the people with the least. It's a universal thing in Illinois.